Alright, in this video I'm going to show you a proof, and in that proof we're actually going to end up using side, angle, side to show our triangle congruence. And so the very first thing that I always do when I'm starting my proof is create my two columns, so statements on the left side, and then my reasons on the right. And then from there, the very first thing I always do when I write my proofs is to write down what my givens are. And so my very first given in this case is going to be that L is parallel to M. That is shown here with those two little arrows on each of those lines. I'm just going to combine that with my other given, and that is that the line EG is congruent with the line HF. And again, my reason for that is that it is given. I always have to write my givens down when I'm writing my proofs. These lines were already marked as being congruent, but I do like to go back and just remind myself that they are congruent as well. All right. From here, sometimes I think that it is helpful to actually think about what am I actually trying to prove. In this case, I'm actually trying to prove that triangles E, G, and F is congruent with H, F, G, right? And so now looking at that figure that we're given, I can see that the next thing that I actually want to prove is that I have two side lengths, another side length in each triangle that I can say is congruent. All right, we already know EG and HF are congruent. I can also say that FG and FG are congruent in both of those triangles. So I'm going to say that GF is going to be congruent with FG. We know that this is true because of the reflexive property. I'm just going to write reflexive over here. Now that I have my two side lengths, I'm going to look at my figure and think about what else can I prove now. I know I could either use side, 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 or side, angle, side to show congruence of the triangles. However, I don't actually know anything about E and F and G and H right now. I have no information that was given to me that tells me that those are congruent by any means. And so what I have to do is I now have to try to prove that some angles in my figure are actually congruent in my triangles. And so I'm actually going to use this idea that I have parallel lines here, and we know that if we have parallel lines cut by that transversal, I actually end up with two congruent angles, and those angles are those alternate interior angles. And so I'm going to label each of those angles with my proper angle notation. So E, G, F is going to be congruent to angle H, F, G. And that is because of alternate interior angles. We know that those are congruent. That is the reason why we can say that those angles there are congruent. I'm just going to get rid of my weird green line that showed up. And so now I have proven actually that a side, an angle, and a side are congruent in both of my triangles. And that order is important. So I did prove that a side, an angle, and a side was congruent in each of my triangles. And so I can finally conclude my proof and say that triangle EGF is congruent to triangle HFG, and that is because of side, angle, side.